Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Black Logic. So, due to a forecast of extreme cold, Trump's swearing-in ceremony will move from its traditional outdoor setting to the Capitol Rotunda. Officials cited safety concerns for attendees and participants. This historic shift marks the only second time a president-elect has been inaugurated indoors since Ronald Reagan in 1985. Now, I guess Donald Trump or know people of his potential cabinet are familiar with songs that may enlighten them or make them warm, like the song by Smokey Robinson, My Girl. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Hopefully I did Smokey some justice there, but nonetheless, that is what's going on, and they're moving it indoors. So it may not be that many people who were invited or can attend or even see it from the Capitol. So again, I think the crowd is going to be considerably smaller because of the frigid and cold temperatures. TikTok. People are still talking about this, but starting Sunday, TikTok must either find an American buyer or cease operations in the U.S. per a Supreme Court ruling. The decision underscores growing bipartisan concerns over data security and Chinese influence. What happened to Mr. Wonderful, aka Kevin Leary? What happened to Elon Musk buying TikTok? I'm surprised that this deal has not went through yet. And again, they have up until Sunday, or TikTok is just going to go away. They're going to be unplugged from America. It's going to be banned in America. So people will not be able to do TikTok. Now, a lot of influencers that have been or that are on the TikTok platform, they are moving to another Chinese app called Red Note. But again, that app may come under scrutiny as well, and they should be very careful. You might want to gear your content towards maybe an American app or an app of one of our allies that has some of the same functionalities that TikTok and or Red Note might have. President-elect Donald Trump held a high-stakes call with Chinese President Xi. The two leaders discussed contentious issues, including the TikTok ruling, ongoing trade imbalances, and efforts to curb the export of fentanyl, which has exacerbated the U.S. opioid crisis. Trump emphasized a strong stance on American interests while extending an olive branch for future collaborations. And this is a good sign. But again, there's some things that really needs to be addressed. We have an influx of fentanyl that has been infused with other drugs and other substances and other legal things. And Americans are dying and becoming sick and more addictive to these illicit drugs. So that's something that definitely they should be addressing. As well, come to find out, Donald Trump was suggesting an extension of the TikTok ban, meaning to hold off on the ban, but he doesn't get inaugurated until Monday. And the TikTok, ban pretty much enacts on Sunday. So if an American buyer doesn't take hold of the company, then TikTok may just go away. Now, again, I don't know how immediate that will be. Maybe Trump can come in on Monday or maybe Tuesday, and before TikTok is totally unplugged from America, stop or extend it. But we'll see how that turns out. And hopefully something is done, because there's 6 million, TikTok influencers, and a lot of those people are depending on their content and their creations to feed their families. Again, this is just a new world order where a lot of people are making money online. Not me, but nonetheless, I'm a very divisive figure sometimes. But again, I think this is a good thing that Trump, if possible, can do this, and I think he should. Now, with leaks left in his presidency, and I've been talking about this for a very, very, very long time, Biden has signed all sorts of executive orders aimed at solidifying whether it be climate policies, healthcare access, even productive rights, and a lot of even to the point of illegal immigration. And a lot of people are stating that these measures are designed to be difficult for the incoming administration to overturn, because this is what they're going to use. He's putting up roadblocks. He's putting up a lot of red tape. So at the end of the 4 years, people are like, oh, well, Donald Trump didn't say what he was going to, he didn't do what he said he was going to do in the time given, or he didn't get it done altogether. Again, a lot of times you can leave tacks on the road knowing someone is driving after you. Does that make sense? You're putting nails in the road knowing that someone is driving after you, so they'll get flat tires. It slows them down and stops them in their tracks. So this is essentially what Joe Biden is doing. And I don't like it. I don't think this is a good thing. I mean, you're the outgoing president. You have a couple of days left here. Go out with honor. Go out with some grace. But who are we fooling? This good old Joe.
That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no time to waste.
Do me a favor, Joe Biden. Say their names. That's why I'm loving hip hop lately. Okay, that's why I'm loving hip hop, because names are being spoken. Stop hiding behind the veil of politics. These very vague and outreaching sort of speeches and statements that you're making. Say Donald Trump's name. Say J.D. Vance's name. Say their names. Say Vivek Ramaswamy's name. Say Elon Musk's name. Say Mark Zuckerberg's name. Say their name. Say Jeff Bezos' name. Say these ultra wealthy people. That is who you're talking about. But you want the American people to come up with their own conclusions, because if anybody checks you, well, I never said him. Yeah, I never said her. Yeah, miss me with all of that, Joe Biden. Take your butt and go lay down somewhere on the beach and enjoy the rest of your life. Man, always trying to cause trouble on the way out the door. Just get out. Damn. Israel's security cabinet approved a ceasefire deal, bringing a temporary halt to escalating violence in Gaza. Now, I've been reporting on this on the past couple of days, and I thought this was already done, but Israel's security cabinet had to approve the deal for them to ceasefire and stop killing, the Palestinians by the way of Hamas, and likewise, because if Israel is going to attack Hamas, Hamas is going to attack Israel, and I know Hamas attacked Israel first. I'm just stating that I didn't know they had to go through this extra step in order to make this deal. I'm glad that it has been confirmed. I'm glad that it's in a ceasefire, so innocent lives can be saved, and hopefully they can even reach a peace treaty. Okay. Now, I've been keeping you guys abreast of this situation. A teenager near-death experience with bird flu is prompting Trump's transition team to reassess pandemic preparedness. Remember I told you guys that Donald Trump's team was looking for a mass-level pandemic for him to enact Title 42, so they can use that to eradicate, capture, deport a lot of the illegal immigrants. Remember, he used that when he came into office with COVID-19. And they said, yeah, we're looking for another pandemic. Not that they're creating another pandemic, but again, this is, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully this doesn't affect a lot of Americans. Hopefully it's an isolated event with these chickens, with these birds, with that one teenager, or with that one man, so to speak, and hopefully this doesn't spread. We do not need another pandemic. We still already have high inflation. We still haven't recovered from COVID-19. But health experts argue that the case underscores a critical need for a comprehensive public health strategy to address zoonotic diseases, okay, things that supposedly naturally occurs when animals are in their natural habitat together. And of course, they're in human contact, and that's why he contracted it, because of his chickens. But this is the reason why I confirm, and hopefully everybody else does, RFK. A lot of these things, I believe, can be avoided with the right people in the right places signing the right legislations into law. And hopefully this is something that, he see as top of his list before this pandemic take place. Because again, we can use pandemic legislation and laws all we want, but that costs at the lives of Americans. We already have a declining birth rate. Everybody does. Every demographic has a declining birth rate. Some more than others, but nonetheless, we all do. Okay, and then guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a plus size our numbers with all the jobs and industries and manufacturing, distribution, etc. jobs in America with what? Immigration. So again, hopefully they can combat this. Now, a surprise number of travelers refuse to purchase flights on their phones due to security and usability concerns. I don't know why, but the trend points to a lack of trust in mobile payment systems and really preference for the perceived security of desktop bookings. Now, me personally, I have a antivirus software as well as a VPN on my phone. And anytime that I'm purchasing a flight, I definitely go to desktop mode. My antivirus is always working in the background. And if my VPN is not on, I make sure that I turn it on. And I don't know what type of phones you guys have. I'm a Droid user. Don't hate me. Okay, don't hate me. I love Droid. I don't hate Apple. They just two different software. They do things very different. I don't get into the cell phone wars and software wars, okay? I'm not making billions of dollars from this, but I like my Droid. And if I just swipe down, automatically embedded in my phone, and this is a Samsung Z Fold 6, I already have a VPN that's embedded in my phone, but I also use another VPN. And again, I'm not going to tell you because then it seems like I'm promoting nothing, okay? But nonetheless, I think people should at least have an antivirus software as well as a VPN, and then you can go about your business on your phone because phones are essentially smart devices, but they're like small laptops in your pocket. And why not use it to purchase flights? So that's something to think about as well. Last, same-sex couples across America are rushing to get married, fearing potential rollbacks of LGBTQ rights under the upcoming administration. Legal experts note that the significance of these unions being solidified before any policies take effect. And there's a lot of states that these people are going to. I'll just blow this up for you guys. Okay, we're looking at Floridians, people from Massachusetts. There was a couple of stories in here that a lot of people were starting to get married even before I guess they are ready. Because again, why are you rushing to get married? Like, oh, we was going to get married, but because Trump is coming to office. Well, you guys knew this at least in November, but now it's making headline news because a lot of people are scheduling venues and things of that matter. So look for a lot of the same-sex couples to be getting married this weekend. And again, you love one another. Again, two consenting adults. I have nothing against it. But again, the upcoming administration may roll back some of these rights that LGBTQ has. And I don't have a play in the game. I don't have a role. I don't have words to even express. Because, can I be frank? Well, I'll just be Black Logic. I'm gonna be frank. I don't care. I just don't care. That's not, my sort of tea. That's not my genre. Okay, heterosexual male here, but nonetheless, I have nothing against their lifestyles and what they choose to do with their lives. Have nothing against it. But nonetheless, have to pay the bills here. Here's some words from our sponsors, and I don't have any sponsors. I just want to give you this message.
Most of us learned a distorted history of slavery in school. So as white Americans, most of us don't realize our connection to it. Here's a quick rundown of historical facts I had not been taught. That the North was deeply implicated, that slavery was legal in northern states for over 200 years, that Northerners up and down the economic spectrum made their livings in businesses tied to slave trade and slavery, that Northern mills processed cotton harvested by enslaved people. The Midwest and the West were implicated. They grew food to feed the South, where land was devoted to cash crops like cotton, harvested by the enslaved. Consumers throughout the country were implicated. in their everyday purchases of clothing, coffee, sugar, rice, tobacco. People who immigrated from Europe after slavery were implicated. I have Irish, French, and German immigrant ancestors who came to the United States in the 19th century, worked in factories, struggled, but they were given access to the American dream. Why were waves of immigrants flocking here? Because it was the land of opportunity. Why was the economy booming? Why were there jobs? Because it had been built largely on unpaid labor. Once here, European immigrants got to systematically leapfrog over Black families with devastating consequences up to the present day. So slavery built the nation.
And that is correct. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. This is Black Logic.